Hi, this is Noah Cantor with Advice from Young Tradesman TV, and today's video is going to be an updated review of the Titan ED-655 with a bunch more months of field use with this thing under my belt. So we're going to go over some things I've learned and confirm some things that I talked about in the first video that we can have a link somewhere around here where I compared this versus the Titan 440 after I had years of experience with the 440 and a few uses of this, but now I'm more educated and I'm going to get into things that I think you should know. But first, we're going to thank the PCA for helping underwrite this video, the Painting Contractors Association that is. That is a collection of the brightest minds in the industry. They have amazing resources like industry standards, apprenticeship videos. So if you are a forward-thinking paint contractor, please consider checking them out and joining. And depending on when you see this video, their expo may have passed or not, but it is February 2022. And that is where all of the greatest painters in the nation will collect to share ideas for a few days. So I will be there and hope to see some of you there as well. So this thing, I'm going to get into a little bit of maintenance stuff. But again, if you buy this unit, you're going to read the directions if you're a contractor, and it's pretty intuitive. It's a very easy unit to do. So I'm not going to show you how to clean it out. I respect your intelligence more than that. I will say I have found that this household oil works really well. This is like $4 at Lowe's. They say after each use, you either put water or oil in the top there, and I've found that I like this. We're going to start with cleanability. So this thing is way easier to clean than a 440. There are just less moving parts. In the other video, again, this one versus the 440, I predicted that based on the big old filter that you unscrew that just has like a gallon of paint in it in the 440. This one you can clean everything out with much less solvent waste. So that was very cool. It's nice in the field to not have that much solids to figure out what to do with. So yeah, like that very much. Another thing that I liked about it in the field was how transportable it was. So I would be using my 440 for body and toting this thing around, just knocking out some window trim or maybe a garage door or a front door here and there. And whereas with the 440, you're hauling the bucket, you're doing this, it's kind of off balance. This thing is just so nice. Your paint is already in there, so you don't really have to do anything else with this one. Much nicer. I had this in a lift with me and not a hog on space just because it's vertical. Really nice to spray out of a lift with this thing. And I will say too, I found myself with a 25-foot hose and a gun out of this thing, having to buy and use a whole lot less product just to fill this thing up to start working with it. So yeah, it's a little more efficient in terms of product volume to begin with. Then you put a 25-foot hose on it, and maybe that second gallon that you might not have wanted to buy for that garage door, you don't really have to with this because you're not going to run out and have to back it with something that isn't the right product. We've all been there, right? But like, you're a little more confident that you don't have to do that with this. So there's cleaning, there's just some basic field niceties. The one big downside, this is the one thing that actually did derail me for a couple hours during a field day this summer. And this summer we had a lot of rain, so when the sun was shining, I really had to produce. And this thing threw me through a loop for a couple hours. So what was happening was it was losing its prime, and it just wasn't able to filter product through. And it was too new for a lot of the usual things that you'd think of to be happening. What I realized, I won't bore you with all the details, what I realized is that there is a little nut inside here. And this unit, it vibrates a lot. When this thing's on, it's okay. So what I think happened was this nut got loose, meaning when you switched it to spray from prime, it actually wasn't engaging anything back here. And it took me a really long time to figure that out. And I actually know a few other painters who were tortured for hours on a job site with the same exact thing. So this is not unique to my machine. I think it's a product of the design. That could seem like a really bad thing, and if you're not ready for it, it's not pleasant, I'm going to tell you, but the fix is easy. So now I just keep this deep socket. If it starts happening, you can just tighten that up, and clicks into place, and it's going to start circulating perfectly after that. So that is the only downside. It does feel like kind of a clunky thing that probably shouldn't be going wrong with such a renowned spray company brand, but in the overall like efficiencies and benefits for this thing, now that I figured it out and it hasn't really derailed me again now that I know about this, and I also check it too before I use it, I still think this thing is a worthy investment. So that is the one negative I found. Other than that, this thing is just a joy to use. It is a little nice and more nuanced and portable, and a really good, if you're gonna have two sprayers, a 440 and something else, I think this is a really nice second option. So those are the only updates I wanted to share with you, confirm some of the stuff I suspected, and tip you off on one issue that I didn't see coming, and I'm sure no one else did. But yeah, that is it. So please send me any questions on this front. I also know that some of you commented and messaged me about, ways to pair this with an external compressor and really trick this thing out. And I've seen some other cool stuff on this unit that I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. But definitely reach out, and I'd like to talk more about that and see some videos of that too. So if you have those, reach out. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And you can follow me at Advice from a Young Tradesman on Instagram, or email me at advicefromyoungtradesman@gmail.com.